Hi everybody. I don't know where to start, there's so much to talk about. Firstly, the quality of the video is a little poorer than normal because we're inside the van and I've got lights on inside. As you can see, it's open. I'll talk about this in a minute, but so the quality is probably not as good as it normally is because I'm not using my phone. I'm actually filming on my laptop, which is on a little table across from me here. You can all hear the generator in the background, which is powering my fire down here. I've got a little halogen fire, which I've got one bar on at the moment. It'll power both bars perfectly well and charge my phone up at the same time. It's 450 watts each bar and 900 watts when it's fully on, and the generator's 1200 watts anyway, so it powers this perfectly okay. So I've got the fire on. The light here is on. This is the LED bulb, so it doesn't use much power, but it chucks out some good shine, lumens. And the other source of light I've got is my old phone. I've got two Galaxies. One's a Galaxy 8 and the other's a Galaxy 10. So my old phone, I've got the light on, the torch I'm using. I'm just going to put my mouse here because I'm controlling the laptop with this mouse. I've got a keyboard as well, but I'm not using that at the minute. Right, so I've got the phone's on here with the light on shining this side to give me some more light, because when I didn't have that on, it was because this light's up here, it was casting a big shadow here on my face, so it looked so dark. So I thought I'd better light this side of me up as well. Oh, excuse me, I haven't got any leggings on. As you can see, I have widened this space up, and I've got my chair inside, so I'm in a bit of comfort. So I've got all my phones. Well, I don't need. That's not on charge because they don't need to. They're all fully charged at the moment. All really it's powering is that light and this fire. Uh, so what I've done, because if you remember, the bed was only as big as this here to just there. It was only this wide. It's not much wider than that now, but I've got more room. I didn't have any room before. So what I've done, because I've opened it up, because I haven't got as many hens anymore, I've been able to shorten their space a bit. They've got plenty of space. I'll show you it all in a minute, but I've been able to push my bed back and have create this massive space. And because I'm so used to having this tiny space from here just to here, that's all I have. This feels like luxury. All of this feels like I'm living in a mansion at the moment. It's massive. So that's it feels like a change. So I'm able to fit a few more. I've got a little, well, I think it was an old sewing table that I used to have, but I've got kitchen foils and stuff in there, baking things like sheets and what have you. But anyway, it's a surface, and I can either work at it with my laptop, or I can cook on there, or it's a good little surface to wash up on it or whatever. Um, this unit here used to be behind my seat over there, but it's got a temporary back at the moment. I want to put a proper back on it so nothing falls out of it, but I want that there. I like that there because it matches the little unit I've got by the side of the bed there. I don't know what to tell you, where to start. Well, I suppose on Tuesday you all know I went in for surgery, and it wasn't treatmental surgery, it was exploratory surgery. So although they did take a biopsy, he just told me they were it was suspicious to them, so they need to look elsewhere, further afield. So on the day of the surgery, I was when they took the biopsy of this, I was just under local anaesthetic, but on Tuesday I went under full general anaesthetic, and I had to have breathing tube down my throat. I've had cameras down there, biopsies taken from places. I've had cameras and stuff threaded down my nose, so I've had more biopsies taken from. They found a lump behind my nose. They've had a biopsy from that as well. So I haven't had any results from any of those, so I've got to wait for that. But my next encounter for the hospital is on the 2nd of June, and I've got like a double appointment, so 10:30 I've got to go and get x-rays done, and then at 10:40 I'm having a CT scan. So whether they'll tell me any more on Tuesday, I don't know, but I'm still playing the waiting game right now. I'll tell you a little funny story about the hospital. Obviously, as you know, if any of you have been into hospital and had to have surgery, you're not supposed to eat anything from before the midnight, before the surgery, the next day. I was fine. I didn't eat or drink anything. I think I ate something around 9:30, and my last drink was around 11ish. And I didn't have anything to drink at all. And I got to be there for 8 o'clock in the morning, so I was expecting to be going, in early. It seems it asked me to be in that early, but there was 6 other ladies coming in exactly the same time as me, and anyway, it turns out that I didn't end up going down to surgery till about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So I'd had nothing to drink or eat from 9:30 the night before. So anyway, you go down for your surgery, come back, and obviously when you come back to the ward, they're taking your vitals every half an hour and making sure you're recovering properly how you're supposed to, and all your functions are functioning. They bring you a litre of water, and they ask you if you want anything. Well, they bring you a sandwich. They want you to eat a sandwich of something. They'll try and bring you a sandwich of your choice if they can, but they want you to eat something and drink something, and they want you to drink the whole litre of water. So because I had all this stuff going on with my throat was particularly vulnerable and sore, and it every time I swallowed, it felt like somebody was stabbing me right in the side of my neck here. Oh my goodness, I can still feel it now, but it's nowhere near obviously as bad as it was on the first couple of days after the surgery. Oh God, I thought I'd never be able to eat or drink ever again. It was horrendous. I couldn't even swallow my own spit, let alone eat a bag of crisps. It was exactly the same, didn't make any difference. Anyway, so you've got to drink all this water, and so what they're trying to do then is make sure before you go, they want you to go to the toilet and pass at least 200 millilitres of urine before they'll let you go home. Bearing in mind that I'd had nothing to drink from 11 o'clock the night before up until that time, well, whatever time it was, 4 o'clock or whatever, by the time 4 or 5 o'clock, by the time I started drinking anything. So it was a long time to go without any liquids, and I'd already been to the toilet many times before, so whatever I'd got in my body had been completely emptied out, so I'd got no fluids in me, only what this litre of water that they brought me. So the idea is to see that your body's working correctly and it's all flushing through, and they want you then to the next time you do a wee after your surgery, they need you to wee in a bedpan thing, like a cardboard bedpan that you put into the toilet, on the toilet seat, to stop it going down the toilet. It catches your wee, and then they take it away and weigh it or measure it or whatever, but I think they weigh it. And so I was ready to go home. I'd had enough. And so I went to the toilet just thinking that I'm going to pass plenty, because I pass plenty of wee most all day because I drink tea and coffee all day. But then again, I obviously had not had any liquid, so there was nothing to pass. So dutifully I went into the toilet with the cardboard insert and proceeded to... Anyway, it didn't, not as much come out as I was hoping. And I was really disappointed, and I was just praying, but I could see by looking at it there was not enough there. Anyway, I gave it to her, and she said, you can't go home yet, you've got to pass a bit more. There was 120 millilitres there, you need to pass another 80 millilitres. So I went back to my ward and drank a bit more water. Oh my gosh, and it was so painful. As much as I could. Quarter of an hour later, I went back into the toilet with another cardboard thinking, what's it? And this time, I peed such a tiny, teeny amount. Oh God, it couldn't have been much more than 15 mils. But because I'd not drank anything, it was pretty dark. So, I needed to. So, what I did was I went across to the sink and I just poured a little tiddly bit of cold water in it. Not much, just enough to what I thought might be 80 millilitres. And because the wee was dark, it didn't, it still looked like wee. Thank goodness. So I gave her that. Because they only weigh it and they don't dip anything in it to check it for anything, she accepted it, so she let me go home. Don't do that, it's naughty, but I did. Amy's not been doing too well without me. She has caused this poor family some earache. She screams from morning till night until she sees me again. It must be unbearable for them. She'll stop a bit, but if the moment they don't fuss her, she's crying again. She has to have constant attention, otherwise she is crying and crying for me. Bless her. But the father of the family who took me to hospital brought Amy in the car with us so she could see where we were going. And she's been going to the hospital with me anyway, so she knows the hospital. And at least she can see what's happening. And I'm not just taking her to his house and leaving her there. I'm actually having to go to hospital. She knows she can't go in the hospital because she comes with me normally and she sits in the car happily. So, she was able to see where I was going, but it didn't really make much difference. She still screamed when she got back to his place, and he said she started in the car as they were pulling out of the place. Bless her. But she'll have to go back again on Tuesday. So, but we've been to see them and come away, so she knows every time we go. It doesn't mean she stays there. And she's not fearful of going there. She's happy to be there, especially if I'm there, obviously. But, bless her, she's never been with anyone else. So, while I'm at hospital, something else is going on. My story has made the national papers in the UK, in the paper called The Guardian, and it's been in the actual papers that you buy on the stands and also online. And they've done a piece, about 6 pieces on different people that have in a similar situation to, well, we all live in vans for different reasons. We've all got completely different stories as to why we're in our vans, and it makes good reading. And so that generated quite a bit of interest, to the point where there was no link to my GoFundMe mentioned. It was, they said that my GoFundMe was dwindling fast, and that's all they put. So that meant that people must have been caring enough to bother to look it up, which is amazing. So that has had a huge boost, bigger than I could ever have even imagined. It's just crazy. I'm so grateful. I don't know where to begin to say thank you to everybody who's been so kind. You're just so lovely, all of you. I really do appreciate everything that everybody has helped me with. They're just very humbling, I must say, really humbling. So, I don't know what else to tell you apart from that. Well, on the back of the story going into one of the national papers, another guy from another national paper, has been in touch to see if I'm interested in talking to him, and I said, well, I want to get through what I'm doing at the moment before I talk to anyone else. Same with the local paper has asked me, a local North Wales paper has asked me for a story too. But again, I just want to get through this medical stuff and see what's going on before I can't make any plans about anything until I know what's going on with myself. What else can I tell you? Oh, as far as housing's concerned, well, I am on the list, council list, and I've been moved up from band 4 to band 2 because I'm not classed as completely homeless, because obviously I've got a van here with comforts. I'm not on the street, so at least I've got something, and I'm living with all, I've got stuff to live with. So, but I'm not, some of you are going to be shocked to realise that I wouldn't accept anything they offered me that's in a flat or a street or an estate or in town, because I don't come from that area. I'm happy living in this van, but I need somewhere permanent to park it so that I don't have to, worry about having to move, because this is somebody else's piece of land. And what's really a shame is they would consider selling it right now, and it's just a small plot, but it's about £10,000, and obviously I haven't got that sort of money. But it would be just ideal just to get this little bit of land, put a container on it, and put all my stuff in there, so I don't have to pay the rent for that all, because that's costing me, that's a ridiculous amount of money. And then the guy who owns this bit of land is charging me rent as well. If I didn't have the GoFundMe, there's no way, because I'm getting £300 off the Universal Credit. The containers are £240, and this field is £100, so that's more than what I get before I've even got anything else, food or, whatever else, petrol or diesel that I need. I'm screwed. So if I didn't have the GoFundMe, I wouldn't be able to live at all. I need somewhere to put my stuff, which doesn't cost £240 a month. That's what I need. Oh, so this bit of land, if someone wants to come, because I could buy half of this land with somebody if they want to come in with me or help me buy it. That'd be amazing. I know that's cheeky, but if you don't ask, you don't get. It's just a thought, but it's an investment, isn't it? A bit of land. It's got a protection on it, so you can't go building on there. That's why I'm not actually in the field. I'm not ruining it, but I think I'd be able to get allowed to have a container in this corner here where there's no vegetation. It's got, because the wall shades it, so there's nothing that grows there. So I think I could get a container here. But anyway, that was just an option. This would be absolutely perfect if we could buy this little bit of land. Anyway, that's me dreaming. So, that's all I've got to tell you, I think, for now. All we've got to wait for now is Tuesday for when I go in and get this x-ray and scan. Oh, that noise is Dave. She's just laid an egg. You just laid an egg, Dave. Oh, should we get this up and show you? So we've opened it right up. The curtains are at the back doors now. Shall I get this out? There's my light. I'm going to get my light, aren't I? I'm trying to show you Fliss. Fliss is in there. And Abigail's underneath her. They've got plenty of room in there. And Quails. Quails are down here. Hello, Dave. Icky Dave. You're on the camera. Yeah, so there's my fire on. And that's my little dresser that I've got this laptop on at the moment. So put it back. Plug it back in. So, that's that. All updated, and it's a very long film, and I don't know how long it's going to take to upload, so that's where we're up to at the moment, until Tuesday.